The Chinese seem to be concentrating on Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal. Why is that?
Well, Scarborough Shoal is one of the areas that of high interest to the Chinese Maritime Forces, as well as dito sa may Sandy Cay, saka rito sa Second Thomas Shoal. So, lahat naman yan, meron silang dineploy na mga barko nila para kumbaga ipakita na pinapakita nila na sila may-ari o sila may control ng mga features na yun.
Hindi na Coast Guard, kundi talagang warships, Navy ships ang dinedeploy na nila doon.
Tama po yun, Cez. Hindi naman siya bagong development, no? In a sense na
Sir Jamie, how did you relate to Shrek being a performer for more than 4 decades and this time performing the iconic Shrek? How did you relate to him?
It was very easy to relate to him because syempre parati akong kontrabida. So I always look like the bad guy. And therefore, I'm always treated like the bad guy. So yung maganda playing Shrek is hindi naman talaga siya bad guy. I just look that way. So I relate to that every day. May mga umiiwas sa akin sa mini staff.
Normally siya limited siya to shadowing actually other naval vessels. Okay? So very unique itong nangyari itong isang araw na incident.
So anong interpretasyon po natin doon na if you're saying unique, is there a change of strategy, becoming more aggressive, trying to cow us from going there?
Okay, ang impact nito, Seth, would be we used to follow yung tinatawag nating white versus white na concept, no? Na ibig sabihin, ang tatapat natin sa kabilang side is yung Coast Guard nila, then ang Coast Guard natin yung kumbaga depensa sa ating sovereign rights.
Okay.
But this time, they have actively employed yung Navy vessel nila for direct harassment ng Coast Guard vessel natin. So this is a new development, and this may require a re-evaluation ng tactics din na ginagamit natin para i-depensa yung ating sovereign right dito sa West Philippine Sea.
Right. The Chief of Staff yesterday said they would be conferring with the President in perhaps a change of approach, a change in strategy. And what would you recommend considering your experience and background?
Well, first of all, yung sa at the operational level, kailangan yung kasi the Coast Guard operates separately from the armed forces in terms of patrol at operation dito sa West Philippine Sea. So ang first implication niyan is there must be one direction or one operational commander managing this deployment and activity. Both dito sa northern part, which is under and doon sa Palawan, which is the western part.
Right.
So they medyo integrated na. Pangalawa, yung tactics, yung interoperability would have to be more closely coordinated. Let's say, for example, while the Coast Guard is operating in terms of protecting our fisher folks, yung pagbabodyguard o mag-escort sa kanya yung Navy vessels natin. The other option is while yung Coast Guard natin is deployed in a specific area, nakapaikot lang or nagpapatrol yung Navy natin in an adjacent area na nakadeploy yung Coast Guard.
Baka pinapain lang tayo into a bigger, and we're weaker. Baka we're being baited into something that will escalate and we will be caught, not naman flat-footed, but because we're the weaker, we have the weaker force. Is it not a bait into...
That's a possibility, but ang adjustment natin dyan is yung ayusin natin yung rules of engagement natin para yung ating kapitan ng mga barko natin na patrol niya ay nagagabayan sila properly to yung what are the limitations ng
Okay.
actions nila.
Okay, well, sabi nga ni AFP Chief of Staff Romeo Browner, Admiral, na isa sa kanyang isasuggest no, sa ating Pangulo ay mag-deploy din tayo ng sarili nating warship. Would that be a great idea? Because obviously China would see that as escalatory. And we're talking about Bajo de Masinloc, which is quite near. Hindi siya parang Ayungin na medyo mas malayo, di ba? So parang malapit na to sa ating EEZ.
Pwede naman yun, pero itatandem mo lang eh. Kumbaga para sa basketball, ang nakapronta mo yung Coast Guard, nakaback up lang yung Navy. So in a way, hindi mo ini-escalate yung situation kasi yung first responder mo would still be a white vessel. At least meron kang Navy doon as yung backup mo in case sila yung nag-escalate ng situation. Meron kang response. But even then, gaya na sinabi ko kanina, meron tayo rules of engagement that would limit yung employment of deadly force. Yun yung escalation na ayaw natin mangyari.
And do you think, just to circle back to yung nagyari na yung banggaan ng barko ng China, yung CCG tsaka yung PLA Navy ship, tinanong ko nga kasi kay Commodore Tariela, Admiral, kung anong magyayari kung hindi nagkabungguan yung dalawa. Posible bang tayo yung nabunggu nun, nung CCG ship?
Well, there is always a possibility kasi based sa description nila, yung maneuver na ginagawa nung PLA Navy tsaka nung Chinese Coast Guard is actually to ipitin yung natin yung Philippine Coast Guard natin in between yung dalawang barko nila. Mabuti na lang at medyo maganda yung diskarte ng kapitan ng barko ng Philippine Coast Guard at naka-alpas siya roon sa yung parang patibong na yun ng dalawang barko nila ng China.
And having said that, yun nga, yung tanong ni Ces, no, na parang bait ba ito? Kasi kung salpukan po yung barko natin sa yung barko nila, ang next question dyan, Admiral, is of course, is that enough to trigger the MDT with the United States?
I don't think it was a bait. I think it's more of yung I would presume, this assumption ko lang to, normally kasi ginagamit nila yung Coast Guard vessel nila, which is more or less adept at yung that type of activities, yung So, maaring yung PLA Navy vessel nila is not adept or hindi niya kabisado yung galaw. And yung maneuver niya, hindi niya natimpla na maayos. Kaya, actually, kung titingnan niyo yung yung sa video, ang nagkamali ng maneuver doon, yung PLA Navy.
Right.
So, I think because that was the first time they employed that, and maaari yung kapitan ng barko ng PLA Navy vessel na yun is not familiar with the tactics na ginagamit ng Chinese Coast Guard, medyo sumablay siya doon sa maneuver niya.
Well, let's go to today's incident where the Philippine Coast Guard was, forced to head back because of this harassment by a Chinese
The
fighter jet. So, what if the pilot decided to head on and not turn back?
Of course, pilot's discretion yan. Pag yung safety na nung aircraft, tsaka safety nung passengers and crew, discretion ng pilot yan, whether ipupursu niya yung mission or not. So medyo may calculated risk involved yan. Pwede naman niya ituloy kung nakita niya na kaya niyang ipursu pa rin yung mission safely, no? Now, since the aircraft involved is yung maritime patrol aircraft ng Coast Guard at saka fighter yung Chinese aircraft involved.
Hindi patas ang laban.
Cessna versus fighter jet, Admiral.
Pwede niya, actually, hindi ako piloto, no? Pero pwedeng ibinaba yung aircraft natin to a lower altitude and slow down. Kasi yung fighter operates at a higher speed. At a lower speed, I would presume na medyo medyo maghihirapan na yung yung makina niyan. So, at a lower speed and lower altitude, we might have a more we might have the advantage in terms of maneuver.
But is it because they're hiding something? Sorry, Paul. Ayaw nilang makita yung scene of the accident where there might be some embarrassing. What could have happened in that condition of it was heavily damaged, correct? The Coast Guard, the Chinese Coast Guard vessel.
So that maybe ayaw nilang mapicturan yung yung salvage operations nila o yung rescue operations nila. That would be a very damaging kung ma-video mo yan. Tapos ma-publicize mo, ma-publicize mo. Siyempre, of course, from a propaganda perspective, medyo kaya sila.
Humiliating.
So that's the reason why they were preventing any approach to that, yung activities nila in terms of salvaging yung damaged vessel.
Sorry, Pawi, go ahead.
Yes, Admiral, I wanted to ask, kasi Commodore Tariela did confirm that there were 2 U.S. naval vessels also spotted near Zambales, and ang sabi, they're conducting freedom of navigation operations. Can you help us understand, Admiral, ano ba itong mga operation na to, freedom of navigation? Because Commodore Tariela did say it also challenges the restrictions on innocent passage imposed by China.
Well, since the 2 U.S. Navy vessels were patrolling in the vicinity of Scarborough Shoal, that is beyond our territorial waters, so nasa exclusive economic zone. Technically, high seas pa rin yan. That means they have all the right under UNCLOS, under Article 19 of UNCLOS, they can exercise the right of passage in that area. Okay, so from a perspective of international law, covered sila, that's walang atraso doon, walang kaso doon. But of course, the Chinese are trying to claim the entire South China Sea. So they treat it as a territorial water. So kaya ang propaganda nila o narrative nila doon, nag-encroach yung US Navy vessels within their territorial waters. Okay? But the point of freedom of navigation is actually to assert it's an assertion patrol to convey a message that under international law, that transit or that passage is allowed. And it's also a challenge to a country like China na mayroong excessive maritime claims na hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung batas na pinapairal mo kasi labag yan sa international law. So it's both an assertion and a challenge.
Could this be why also there was this more aggressive behavior we've seen in the last couple of days?
Well, maraming factors yan eh. Number one, na nakita ko kasi, when we approve yung ating maritime zones law, maritime zones law, at yung archipelagic sea lanes law natin, nag-increase yung yung tempo ng kanilang pag-encroach, particular dyan sa area na yan sa Scarborough, sa Zambales area. In fact, they have, they put up their own baseline dito sa Scarborough Shoal, pang-counter ba sa ating maritime zones. So, ito kasi yung dynamic yan eh. When you put up a law, you must have the wherewithal to actually enforce the law. So dito, sinasabi nila, in a way, sige, ginawa mo yung batas na yan, tingnan natin kung kaya mo enforce yan. So yan yung challenge na nila sa ating mga pinapairal natin mga national laws.
Okay. Finally, well, maliit pa rin ang budget ng AFP dito sa budget na sinubmit ng executive to the legislature. So, anong comment nyo dyan?
Well, ang aking dyan, medyo strategic yung solution ko dyan is i-revive muna natin yung shipbuilding industry natin. Then we build our ships here. For example, yung sa Coast Guard.
It's a long-term plan, but yes, it's sounds good.
Self-reliant defense
Correct.
posture natin.
Oo, para tama po yan. Looks like a good...
Sa solution, we can lease vessels. We can lease civilian vessels and repurpose them. Pinturahan natin ng white or ng gray. Kasi I believe some of the navies that were involved in the anti-piracy patrol sa Somalia, hinulang sila ng asset. What they did was lease a tanker. Tapos they painted it gray. Tapos dineploy nila sa Somalia. So that means maraming commercial vessels yan na idle. We can lease or buy it as a stopgap measure. Importante is we have hulls o enough ships to at least assert yung presence natin. So that's one stopgap measure also.
After all, we have shipbuilders in Cebu and I
Sure,
believe in
Navotas
Subic.
and Gensan,
Navotas,
yeah.
yes. So it's possible.
Yes, ano yun and it helps the local economy.
Correct. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. That was retired Navy Rear Admiral Romel Jude Ong. Marami pong salamat.